Are your hands and nails looking rough? We've got the tools and products to fix that. We've got Jorge. He has got some rough nails, some rough skin today. We're gonna clean this up and we're gonna make them look all nice and pretty. We're gonna start our manicure today by using our cuticle softener. I always start by putting the cuticle softener on before I do any of my other shaping or filing or anything like that. This way it's gonna help to give that cuticle softener a little bit of time to work. And it also helps to kind of help me assess the nails and see what's going on, see what other extra work I might have to do on his nails. So just start by squeezing a little bit of that cuticle softener on each nail. And then we'll take a look and see. I don't think he needs a lot of shortening on the nails. Most of the nails, he may have bitten them a little bit, which is okay. We have clients like that. We have nail biters, so we're not gonna judge him on that. But I am gonna use my toenail clippers and just kind of shape up a couple of these before I do my filing. So just by clipping off a little bit of that excess, it's gonna make my filing a little bit easier. Okay, so we're gonna grab our glass file. And the glass file comes in the cute little carrying case. You can put it on your keychain. Jorge's gonna put it on his keychain so he doesn't chew his nails instead of filing them. So we're gonna start by just shaping the nails up a little bit. And again, he does not have a whole lot to clean up, but I do love the glass file on those nail biters and on even some delicate nails because it really is gonna give a nice smooth finish to that natural nail. It's not gonna leave any sharp edges. It's gonna give just a really nice smooth finish, and it's a really easy tool to use. It's gonna really shape up those nails nice and quick and easily. And I know a lot of people still say that you should go in one direction, but with this file, the way that it's cut, you can actually file in both directions, and it's still gonna leave you that nice smooth finish, and it's not going to catch or grab on that natural nail. So new technology, new techniques, and we're gonna get a really nice finish to the nail. Okay, now this thumbnail, there's really not much to file off, and he does have some damage to that nail. This is actually something that we've talked about in depth, and it's not anything to worry about, but we're just gonna gently try to clean up that edge again because there's not really much of a free edge there. We don't have a whole lot of shaping that we're able to do, so we're just gonna do what we can on this nail. All right, so the next step that we're gonna do, that cuticle softener has started to exfoliate the cuticle, soften that cuticle. So we're gonna go in with our cuticle pusher. And this is probably one of my new favorite tools. I absolutely love this because it's got that slanted edge. So you can use this to push back that cuticle. It's very gentle, but it is gonna help to remove that cuticle that is stuck on the nail. So I do like to go through, gently push back the cuticles. And he actually doesn't have a ton of cuticle work per se. He doesn't have a lot of dead skin stuck on the nail, just a little bit of cleanup. He's more of a nail biter rather than a picker, except for this thumb. Now this thumb, again, we're gonna be a little bit more gentle with. I'm not gonna work back too much into that cuticle because there is some damage back there. So we're just gonna clean up around the edges a little bit. And then this end, more of that pointed end, that's my favorite part of this tool because this is gonna really help to get right up into those edges, down along those sidewalls to really get that cuticle cleaned off the nail. So again, if you've got somebody who is a nail biter, if you are a nail biter, this is gonna work really good for those overgrown cuticles, and especially down along those sidewalls to really get that cuticle cleaned up. Okay, once we've got the cuticles cleaned up, then I do actually like to go to our 180 sponge buffer. And I'm just gonna gently buff the nails, and this will also help to remove any last little bits of cuticle that may be stuck on the nail. I like it because it's got that little rounded edge, or you've got that full length to work with. So around those sidewalls, down through the nail, and then again, you can use a little bit more of that rounded edge if you need to. So just working right up around that cuticle area, down along those sidewalls. He does have a very delicate cuticle up here that may have been picked. So we're gonna just be really careful when we work up around that area. We don't want to break that open or anything else. So just a gentle buff. Okay, so again, we're gonna get to this one that has a little bit more of that damage. I'm not gonna try to completely smooth this one out. If I do completely smooth that out, it's gonna actually take down too much of his natural nail, and we could be ending up filing down into that nail bed. So I'm just really gently, just kind of smoothing out some rough edges, and again, working up into that cuticle area to clean up any little bits of cuticle that are still stuck on the nail. If you do want a little bit of a finer finish or a smoother finish, you could use the 240 buffer instead. It's just a little bit of a finer finish, a little smoother, and it's a personal preference, however you want to finish those nails. The thing you want to remember when buffing though is you don't want to over buff the nails. You don't want to completely smooth out if there's like those deep ridges like in his thumb. You don't want to completely smooth out those because any excessive buffing or filing can thin out that nail plate and take away the structure of the nail. So just very gentle buffing, just enough to smooth out so that you don't have a rough surface. So the next tool we're going to use is the Skinrefine file. So this is, we're going to turn his hands over. If he has any calluses or dry skin, you can use this. You can see a little bit right through there. You can use this to really slough off any of those calluses, any dry skin. This actually works great on pedicures. So if you're doing pedicures, if you're doing your own toes, this is going to work really good for cleaning up those dry calloused areas. Actually, it doesn't have a ton. Just a little bit more down there on the thumb. So just to slough off all of that dry calloused area. All right, much better. Now this thumb definitely has a little bit more of that dry skin, but because that is a little bit more delicate, a little bit more probably sensitive, I'm not going to use a whole lot of pressure on this. I'm just going to kind of come maybe around, or kind of around the edges, because again, I don't want to break that skin open, because it has been bitten a little bit, so it is a little bit more delicate. So we do want to make sure that we're using gentle pressure and not actually filing over those little bit more damaged areas. Okay, so just enough to kind of smooth out those calloused areas. Okay, so the next product we're going to use is the Skin Exfoliating Spray. And this, I'm going to give it a really good shake, make sure to mix that up really well. We'll open that up. And then I'm going to spray this all over the hands. Put that over. And this is a gentle exfoliation. It's not a coarse exfoliation like some of the sugar scrubs and things like that. This uses more of a what's called a gommage technique, and it actually, you'll start to see that product kind of bead up on the skin, and that little bit of beading up, it's going to pull that dry skin off. So it's just going to kind of slough off all of that dry skin and just very gently remove that dry skin as you're massaging. This again is something that you can use on yourself. Just spray a little bit on your hands, rub your hands together, and massage all of that dry skin off. And you can definitely start to see all of that sloughing off. And I do a little bit of extra work right around those cuticles to again get a lot of that dry cuticle cleaned up and really get those nails cleaned off. And you'll start to notice that it does start to dry out just a little bit, and that's usually a good indication that it's done exfoliating. So at this point you could either go to the sink, rinse off the hands, use a spray bottle with some water in it. So what I like to do is just use one of our table towels. I get them wet. Once we've exfoliated, you're gonna see a lot of that sloughed off skin and product on your table towel. I always like to work over a stack of towels, so that way I can just take that top towel and remove that, and now I've got a nice clean place to continue working. So after exfoliating, after all of our cuticle work and everything, now is when I would go back through, and if I do need to nip, which it looks like I've got a little bit of nipping to do on here, this is where I would go back in with our cuticle nipper and clean up any rough edges. So just gently, I'm not trying to cut that whole entire eponychium off. I'm just going to clip off little areas that may be loose or that may be kind of ragged. So just gently cleaning those out.
Years together run deep in solutions, and sometimes it's just a ride in good chat therapy. I think I need good chat therapy. Good chat therapy. Tell you all my secrets, it's safe to keep them. Sharing our dreams and the whys and reasons. Since our last conversation, my girl's been waiting. Let me update them, they're my salvation. When I wanna break down and crash out, they won't. That's what friendship's about. Failure or success, we're a circle of trust. Better send that text. It's a party.
Okay, so at this point, we've got his cuticles cleaned up as much as we're going to be able to do. Again, with a nail biter and a picker, it is a little bit harder to get those cuticles perfect, so only clip what you can clip. So next step we're going to do is hydrating, and we're going to use our hand cream for that. It's a light hand cream, but it's very hydrating. So we're going to take a little bit of that. Again, if you're working on yourself, just massage that into your own hands. If you're working on clients in salon, it's going to be a great massage cream for your hand massages, but it's also going to be light enough to where it's not going to feel greasy or sticky or anything like that. So just gently massaging that into the skin, allowing that to absorb. To finish the manicure, you've got some choices. If you're going to just leave the natural nails natural with no product on them, no polish, no top coat, no base coat, then you can go right into your cuticle oil, and that's going to be another step for hydration. Now I'm going to show you guys our nail strengthener and how to use that as part of this manicure. So if I've already put that lotion on the nails, now I do want to cleanse that off so that we've got a nice clean dry surface to apply our nail strengthener to. So I'm going to take one of our lint-free wipes, a little bit of our swipe, and we're going to use that swipe to really cleanse that nail plate, making sure it goes back to nice, almost a dry chalky kind of a look. And as you're cleansing the nails, you may see other little bits of cuticle that you might want to clean up. Go ahead and clean those up as needed. So with our nail strengthener, you can use this either as a base coat if you're going to be applying polish, or you can use it just by itself. And a lot of times I like to do, if I'm just using it by itself, I like to do a couple of coats. So probably I would say 2 coats at least. And then after a couple of days, you can actually add in another coat of the strengthener, just kind of reseal what you've already got on there. At the end of the week, then I would take it all off again and then reapply with 2 fresh coats. This way you're going to actually be kind of building up some of that protection on the nail, and it's really going to help to allow you to grow out your natural nails and have them become nice and healthy. So again, we're going to go in with 2 coats, brushing on from cuticle to free edge. If you wanted to do a polish color over this, then I would just do 1 coat and then go right into your polish color and top coat. And this is also going to help to kind of fill in some of those ridges on this more damaged nail. You can kind of see it does help to smooth that out a little bit and give that nail a little bit more protection. We'll give this maybe about a minute or so to dry, and then I'm going to add a little bit of our cuticle oil, and that's going to be our final step for the manicure. This is going to help to really hydrate those cuticles, especially again those dry nail biter cuticles, really help to keep them hydrated. And the cuticle oil is also something that you want to be using on a really regular basis. I always say at least a couple of times a day to help keep those cuticles hydrated, keep the nails nice and flexible, and keep everything nice and healthy. So a really easy product to use. Again, the cuticle oil pen, just drop a little bit of that right at the cuticle area, all the way through, especially on those extra dry areas. You can even use that on those kind of callousy areas that you cleaned up a little bit, just to keep everything nice and hydrated. And I'm just going to massage that in. Allow any of that excess oil to really soak into the skin. You don't want to wash this off, you don't want to remove it. Just allow that to soak in and really hydrate those cuticles. And again, just allow that oil to soak in and you've got your manicure. Now the real question of the day is, Jorge, do you think this is something that you could do for yourself to keep your nails maintained a little bit better?
With a little practice, I think I could.
I think you could too. It's that easy, you guys, and you heard it from Jorge. If he can do it, you can do it.